Hi Internet. So today I kind of decided I would do like an intro video because it wouldn't make much sense for me to start a channel and then not really talk about who I am as a person. So I figured today I'd do that. I figured I would just do some simple facts about me and then just some random crap thrown in because I don't really know where to start with just stuff about me as a person. So I'm just gonna go for it and I'm gonna give you what I got. So the number one thing about me is I've said before, I'm Liv. I'm 20 years old. I was born in May of 97, and I'm a Taurus, if that means anything to anyone. I read horoscopes sometimes because they're just kind of fun and stupid, but I don't take them too seriously. The only thing I really know about Tauruses is that they're stubborn, and I can relate to that. I can see how that's me. Some of my favorite things to do just involve art. I've always loved drawing. Over the past couple years, I've gotten more into painting. I use acrylics most of the time, so I've kind of drifted away from sketching, and now I'm more into painting again. I just really like doing stuff with my hands because it just keeps me busy and it really helps me channel my energy into creative outlets that make me feel good. So yeah, and sometimes I can make stuff that isn't totally awful, but I would not, I would not put my art skill up very high. Out of 10, I'm like a 5. I am the youngest of 2 kids in my family. I have an older sister. She's about 3.5 years older than me. And this used to be her room, and now it's mine. We painted the walls. It's really pretty dark blue, and there's not much furniture in here, so I'm really sorry if the sound is kind of echoey and not good. It's because my room is like 3/4 the way finished, I guess. I want to get like a nice little chair or something to go in here. And the walls are very bare, but I kind of like it, so I don't really know what I'm going to keep this room. I might put up more lights. I don't know yet, but so far I really like how open it is because my room before this was very, very crowded and cramped because I have my art desk in there and a bunch of other stuff, so it's nice to have room for activities. My favorite color, in case you can't tell by my room, is blue. Usually I like a lighter blue, like sort of a sky blue, but I really like the dark blue for my room because it's just really calming. 2 of my favorite musicals would have to be Chicago and Les Mis. They're very polar opposites of each other. Chicago has sort of like this jazz-infused music, and then Les Mis, the whole thing is just like sad music. But it's really good to watch if you need like a really good cry. I've never really been in like a super real car accident. This is just another really stupid thing. The only time I ever was in an accident that could have gotten a lot scarier, I was in my first car ever, and it was this rinky-dink little old Chevy Tracker. I don't know how old it was, but it was old as fuck. And I was on my way home from work and I was having a really bad weekend, and I was going speed limit. I was going the speed limit. It was all legal. It had been raining. It was still kind of raining. I was going the speed limit down this really curvy road, and I took one turn, and it wasn't super sharp or anything, but it was a turn. And I went to take the turn, and I guess I tapped the brake or something happened, but I spun a full 180 degrees across the other lane and ended up against a tree. The good thing was that the speed limit on that road was only 35 miles per hour, but it was still so scary because I was in my car by myself. The only other fender bender I'd ever gotten into was like I was in the car with some friends and we got rear-ended, and that wasn't anything at all. But this time it was a full like spin out dramatic, like cue the shitty action music while I just say fuck over and over again because I was convinced I was gonna die or I was gonna get hurt because I'd never been in a real car wreck before. But I ended up okay. I did spin the full 180, so I was pointing the other direction in the other lane. I didn't hit anyone, but I did end up against a tree and it put a dent in the side of my car. But that wasn't a big deal because the car was already a piece of shit and was dented and the paint was fading and it was just ugly. But I'm really lucky because if someone had been coming the other direction, I definitely would have hit them and I could have been hurt a lot worse and I could have hurt someone else. And I'm also lucky that the tree that I hit was there because if that tree hadn't been there, there was a ditch on the side of the road and there was a good chance I could have rolled and I could have been injured. So it's a pretty good thing that that tree was there. My favorite band in high school was probably One Direction. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, but I'm also not, just because of the fact that if they got back together and they went on tour again, I'd probably buy a ticket and I'd probably go and I wouldn't have any shame. I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm going to go see this boy band and you can leave me alone about it. My favorite movie of all time would have to be James Cameron's Avatar. I know that's kind of lame for me to say, but it's the truth and I'm not going to lie to you. So I saw that movie shortly after it came out. I think it came out in 2008 or something. I was still in middle school. That's all I remember. And it was incredible, and I loved it, and I laughed, and I cried again, and it was so good. Some of my favorite YouTubers would probably have to be like top 3 favorite YouTubers would be like Markiplier, Shane Dawson, and Jenna Marbles. Those are like the holy trinity for me. I've been watching Mark steadily, like every day since I guess about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. Whenever Five Nights at Freddy's was first a thing, me and my friend would like text each other constantly and then watch every new video that he put out on Five Nights at Freddy's because it freaked us both out. But the game was still really, really cool at that time before it blew up and became the franchise that it is, and before it came like the 12-year-old kid mania that it is. But I would watch his videos and then like I'd watch him play Five Nights at Freddy's and then that would be it for me. And then I'd wait till the next game came out and then I'd watch the next one. I probably started really watching Mark about whenever Five Nights at Freddy's 4 came out. I just started watching more of his videos and I caught up like up to where he was then that year, and I just started watching him every day. And that's just kind of how it's been since then. My friend and I actually recently went to his tour that he did, went to the one in Atlanta, and I'll do a whole separate video about that sometime soon. But it was a really awesome show, and Mark seems like a really good guy. I've been watching Jenna Marbles since she started on YouTube, and I'm really excited to say that. I don't know why. I remember being a kid, and like I don't think I'd really been exposed to the word fuck that much yet. And I remember my sister grabbing me and being like, hey, you need to come watch this video. It's really funny. And we went into my room at the time because that's where the computer was. And she pulled up Jenna Marbles' video, and it was how to trick people into thinking you're pretty or something like that. It was her very first video. I can't remember the title of it, but it was so funny at the time, and it's still funny now. Like I'd watch it, but I've been watching her videos since then. Like I would binge watch them, and then I'd stop for a few months, and I'd be like, oh yeah, Jenna Marbles. Like I'm gonna look her up on YouTube. YouTube wasn't a very big part of my life until the past couple of years, where my life slowed down enough to where I can spend time just watching videos. But yeah, I've been watching Jenna Marbles since the beginning, and that's pretty cool to me. That I really like her videos. She's really funny. Shane Dawson, I watched Shane Dawson a little tiny bit when I was younger. Back whenever his content was very, very intense. That's a good word for him. Shane's kind of an intense guy. I remember my sister showing me a Shanae video, and I remember her showing my mom that Shanae video, and I remember that not going well at all. I started watching Shane again about 2 years ago. I was on a trip with my friend Taylor, and YouTube before we go to bed because that's sort of just our little like nighttime activity. And she talked about how she watched Shane Dawson, and I was just like, oh, Shane's still doing YouTube? Like, it's been a really long time. She was like, yeah, come watch some of his videos. And so we sat, like, I think I was on the bed and she was on the floor of our hotel room, and she pulled up her phone and we just watched like hours. That's my dog. And she pulled up her phone and we just watched like hours of Shane's pop and cooking videos, and we thought those were incredible. And then we watched more of his. Ugh. Sorry for the interruption. My child wanted to be in the video. Hi, baby. This is Fergie. She's 11 years old, and she's very nervous. Since that trip where me and Taylor like binge watched Shane's videos, I haven't stopped watching since then. One of my favorite games to play would have to be Skyrim. I played it before I played Oblivion, so whenever I tried to play Oblivion, I couldn't really get into it because I was so used to the Skyrim mechanics. But it was the first real like open world, do whatever you want kind of game that I ever played. And it was just a lot of fun. I had a really good time playing it all the way through. I've only gone all the way through the game one time. I don't really know why. It's just I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played Amnesia. I've never played Slender Man. Like any of the old horror games or any of the new horror games, I don't play them because I don't like having nightmares. That's just not what I do. But I'm sure eventually with this channel, I'll probably play some horror games and you'll get some very genuine reactions out of me. and it'll be a lot for you and for me. I guess I'll just end this here. Those were just little snippets about me. I wanted to put something out here that sort of gave you an idea of who I was as a person, because it wouldn't make much sense to me to just jump right in with like deep content and start going for it and just start putting myself out there without kind of letting the internet know who I am as a person. So I figured I'd do this as sort of an intro, I guess. If you want to know anything else, honestly, you can follow my Instagram and my Twitter. I'm going to put them in the description. You'll find out a lot about me pretty quickly just by following me on social media. I guess if you like this, like it, it makes me really uncomfortable asking people for likes or for them to subscribe for some reason. So I'm just not going to do it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching if you watch this, and I'll see you eventually. Sometime later, I guess. Bye.